So, you've been hearing all this buzz about AI and you want to finally get what it's all about, right? Well, this is the crash course you've been waiting for. It's designed for total beginners. It doesn't matter what your background is, we are starting from square one. Just think about that for a second. If you were starting completely from scratch today, no special skills, no experience, no fancy degree, the single biggest opportunity on the table is artificial intelligence. This is our generation's internet revolution. I'm serious. This isn't just hype. This is the future being built like right now. And yeah, let's be super clear about who this is for. It's for you if you feel like you're at the starting line. Whether you want a job, a freelance gig, or to build your own business, the only thing you really need is to be ready to learn and to put in the work. That's it. The doors AI can open are absolutely massive. Okay, so to get started, we have to cut through all the noise. We hear these buzzwords all the time, right? Machine learning, deep learning, they're thrown around everywhere. But what do they actually mean? Let's deconstruct AI and break it down into simple ideas you can actually use. You're already using AI every single day, probably in one of these three ways. First, you've got standalone AI. Think ChatGPT or Gemini, tools you go to directly to get something done. Then, there's integrated AI, which is working behind the scenes in apps you love, like Instagram's feed or the recommendations Netflix gives you. And finally, there's custom AI, which is built for one super important job, like those systems that detect fraud when you buy something. So, how do these things get so smart? Well, it all starts with something called machine learning. And the idea is actually pretty simple. You teach a machine by just showing it a ton of examples. It's kind of like how you teach a child by repeating things over and over. You know your Gmail inbox, how it magically knows what's spam? That's because it's seen millions of spam emails and has learned to recognize the pattern. That's machine learning right there. Now, if you take that idea and put it on steroids, you get deep learning. This is a more advanced part of machine learning, and it's designed to work kind of like the neural networks in our own brains. The best example is probably in your pocket right now, your phone's face unlock. It doesn't just see a photo of you, it understands the deep, complex patterns of your face. That's deep learning. And this deep learning technology powers two incredible fields. First is natural language processing, or NLP, which is all about letting machines understand our language. That's the magic behind Alexa and Google Translate. And then you've got computer vision, which basically gives machines eyes. It's how a Tesla can see the road and tell the difference between a person and a traffic cone. All right, now let's get to the two ideas that are completely changing the game today: generative AI and AI agents. Seriously, understanding the difference between these two is probably the most important thing for anyone starting out right now. Okay, here's the core difference. Pay attention to this. Generative AI, like ChatGPT, is focused on a single task. You tell it, write me some code, and boom, it gives you the code. It gives you the parts. But an AI agent is focused on an outcome. You tell an agent, I want a live website, and it doesn't just write the code, it could deploy the site and actually get it online for you. Agents can make decisions and take action to finish the whole project. Here's a perfect real-world example of an agent's power. Let's say your goal is to email a report to your manager every morning. You can't ask ChatGPT to do that. It can't access your files or your email. But you can give that exact goal to an AI agent. You grant it access, and it will run the whole workflow for you, compiling a report and sending the email every single day without you having to do a thing. So you've got these incredibly powerful tools right at your fingertips. But how do you actually get them to do what you want? Well, it all comes down to communication. Let's walk through a simple framework for getting the absolute best results from any AI. I like to think of it like cooking. You can have the best ingredients in the world, but if you don't have a good recipe, you're not going to make a great meal. It's the same with AI. In the world of AI, this is called prompt engineering. The instructions you give the AI, your prompt, that's your recipe for getting something amazing back. And there's a super simple but powerful framework you can use for this. It's called RCAF. First, R is for role. Tell the AI who to be. Act as a professional communication expert. Then, C is for context. Give it the background info. A project for a client is delayed. Next, A is for ask. Tell it exactly what you want. Write me a polite email asking for an extension. And finally, F is for format. Tell it what the output should look like. Keep it short, maybe 6 to 8 lines, and professional. Trust me, using this one framework will make your results so much better. Okay, so you've got the core concepts, and you have a framework to start using the tools. But the most powerful tool of all, it's your mindset. So let's talk about what it really takes to walk down this path to mastery.
Look, starting anything new is always going to be a little tough. You're going to try things and they're not going to work out perfectly on the first try. You might get frustrated, and you know what? That is completely normal. The biggest mistake people make is they just stop when it gets hard. Don't be that person.
And I want to leave you with this one really powerful idea. Success isn't always about those big, exciting moments. A lot of the time, the real money is in doing the same boring thing every day. It's about being consistent. It's about showing up and practicing even when it feels repetitive or difficult. That's where you actually build real skill, real mastery. The potential here is, well, it's limitless. The tools are here, they're accessible, and the opportunity is happening right here, right now. All it takes is for you to take that first step. So the only question left is, what are you going to build with AI?